The Assassin's Creed series is back with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Obviously, the setting has shifted to the land of the Vikings, but what else is new this time around? Here's everything we know now after going hands-on for about 3 hours with the game. Assassin's Creed Valhalla takes place in 9th century England, where you play as Eivor, who can be either male or female based on your choice at the start of the game. You lead a Viking crew as you work towards building a land and a society where Saxons and Danes can live together in peace. Our own 3-hour demo took place in the East Anglia territory and focused on the rescue of Oswald, a man that Eivor hopes to position as king for his vision of unifying England.
Oswald lives!
You can traverse the world by both land and sea with your horse and Viking longboat, respectively. This time around, you can trigger a cinematic camera once you've got your destination locked and autopilot engaged. You can reveal the map by synchronizing at various viewpoints, which will reveal all nearby side quests and other locations of interest. Something to note is that there's now a split in the type of side quests. There are wealth side quests that are yellow and mystery side quests that are blue, along with the various secrets to be discovered. These play into the 3 meters on the map screen that track your progress in an area. There are also now world bosses and world events strewn across the map. There were 2 in our demo, both members of the Daughters of Larian, the aforementioned daughters of Gaelic women who have a fondness for sacrificial rituals and flooding the battle arena with colored fog. Mythical beasts make a return to Assassin's Creed Valhalla as well, only this time obviously you'll be taking down beasts from Norse mythology like the Black Shuck. Assassin's Creed Valhalla leans into its Viking inspirations in all sorts of fun ways. There are Viking weddings, Viking wedding crashers, Viking drinking games, and yes, of course, off-screen Viking sex. There's also a pretty meaningful choice and consequence system that can dramatically affect how certain quests play out. For example, after you rescue Oswald, you're given a choice to either spare or kill his captor. If you spare him as Oswald commands, he will reappear later on and challenge Oswald to a duel, which then offers another choice with regards to whether you take the duel in Oswald's place or not. From just that one quest, it seems like the choices and consequences run pretty deep. You can also execute raids on certain towers by using your war horn to call your ship to the dock of a town and plunder it with your Viking brothers and sisters. They'll aid you with opening locked doors, cracking open giant chests, and will fight alongside you as you pillage the town of all its valuables. During assaults, you'll be able to lead your clans to take over a fortress. You must reinforce your army against another. To find the key to victory, you must use everything at your disposal: ladders, rams, bridges, you name it. Winning an assault will earn you progression, experience, and loot. And of course, you can get your crew to sing to you while you're on your longboat as well. There are still plenty of substantial changes to combat in Assassin's Creed Valhalla that are important to make note of. First off is the ability to equip 2 one-handed weapons in order to dual-wield barbarian style and deal increased DPS at the expense of your ability to block. That said, even while dual-wielding, you can still parry certain enemy attacks, so you're not completely incapable of defense. We were able to play around with 5 special melee combat abilities as well. Rush and Bash, a charge move that has you bull rushing forward, and if you connect with an enemy, you can bash them against the wall for huge damage. Throwing Axe Fury, an axe throwing move that could hit multiple targets. Poison Strike, a simple poison buff for your weapon. Kick of Tyre, a powerful kick. And Dive of the Valkyries, a leaping strike that deals big damage. On the ranged side of things were another 4 special abilities to use with the bow. Raven Distraction, an ability that lets you send your bird to distract an enemy, allowing you to assassinate them. Mark of Death, a multi-shot where you have to tag your targets manually before firing. Thorn of Slumber, an arrow that puts an enemy to sleep. And Ranged Poison Strike, an arrow that spreads poison on impact. There's also a brand new weapon type in the Flail, which takes a little while to get going, but once it starts spinning, it does massive amounts of multi-hit damage and can absolutely wreck enemies that try to hide behind their shields. Healing works differently this time around as well. Berries and various bits of food can be picked up in the world to fill up your ration bag, and when you have enough for a full ration, you can press right on the D-pad and immediately recover health, even in the middle of a battle and without the need for an animation. There's a stamina meter which depletes when dealing heavy attacks, absorbing damage with your shield, and dodging. And finally, enemies have a stamina meter that will decrease greatly when you do a successful parry, and when it's depleted, you can execute a stun attack for massive damage, making skillful defensive play a worthy tactic against certain foes that are more likely to block your attacks. Enemies that get knocked down can also be stopped to great effect. Character progression works largely the same way in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, with each quest and activity offering EXP that goes towards leveling up your character's stats and earning you a skill point. The skill tree this time around, however, is very different. It takes the form of a star map with the usual split between combat, bear, stealth, raven, and ranged wolf skills. The skill tree branches out from the center, with each branch going down one of 3 paths. There are 2 types of nodes that you can put your points into: minor stat nodes, which offer small stat-based boosts, and main skills, which offer new passive fighting moves. In order to unlock the main skills, you must create a path to them by unlocking all of the stat nodes along the way. Adding points to the stat nodes increases your overall power, which essentially is your level and how you will gauge whether you're strong enough to handle a mission. It's also important to note that your gear may be aligned with either the bear, raven, or wolf skill trees, and will get bonuses based on the amount of points placed in those nodes. Active skills can be found in the world via special hidden books of knowledge. If you find more than one book for the same skill, you will level it up. Books of knowledge are typically found in heavily guarded monasteries or military camps. You have a raven that can give you an overhead view of the area, and you're able to create up to 3 waypoints. You can either tag locations or you can tag enemies and have the waypoint follow them wherever they go. And yes, it's true, the hidden blade is back. And that's everything we know about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We're sure to find out more in the coming months leading up to when Assassin's Creed Valhalla, optimized for Xbox Series X, will be available on 11/17 on Xbox One and current-gen consoles, but is also coming to Xbox Series X and next-gen consoles. Thanks for watching, and for all things Assassin's Creed, stick with IGN.